Hey, welcome back everyone. More Age of Empires here. This time I'm playing as the opposite dynasty and we're up against Captain Magara Adami, playing as the Mongols. I've been struggling against Mongol opponents lately. They seem to do pretty well against Delhi, or the opposite dynasty, because I get pretty greedy, and Mongols are really good at punishing greed. But we are on Mongolian Heights. Oh, I missed out on those two sheep. Oh, I should have double backed for them. Didn't even realize I had passed them. Making two scouts here. Oh, missed that sheep as well. I got my two scouts because when you're up against the Mongols, you really want to know what your opponent is up to. And I've lost a lot of games in the past because I simply didn't scout my opponent well enough. So we're going to try and scout out this Mongol player and know what exactly is going on here. Now, the map is Mongolian Heights, so there's a river running through the center, but I'm not sure if either of us are really going to go for it. Mongol players are pretty aggressive, and they don't really need to build up that huge economic advantage. They're just going to swiftly move to the castle age and then try to put pressure on me. Oh, wow, my scout makes it out with 3 health. Very fortunate there. You can actually see my opponent moved their town center next to the Ovu. That can be a really macro play from a Mongol opponent. Like I said, usually Mongol players aren't playing a macro game or a economic game. Instead, they are just getting to the castle age and putting on pressure. But if you see a town center in the Ovu, it's going to be a bit more of an economic play because now they can double produce villagers. I'm trying to do some fancy footwork here to save my scout. He's chasing after it with his Khan and this scout. I queued up a bunch of orders to run through stealth forests in the hopes that I would lose them. And I think my scout is actually going to make it back home safe. I was pretty happy to get this scout back home. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. I could go for the second town center, and it looks like that's what I'm planning on doing. I saw this kind of macro play here, and I decided I could probably get away with a second town center. Oh, gonna lose this scout here if I'm not careful. Yep, there he goes. But he's gonna lose his Khan if he's not careful here. Oh, one more hit would have had him. Probably should have microed my scout a little better there, because I would have gotten all those sheep that were following the Khan as well. Oh, so close to killing both of these, the scout and the Khan. Opponent makes it to the second age, and I'm suspecting he got the deer stones for the Yam network, but I'm chasing after his scout, trying to figure out what's going on. I come by his base and I'm seeing archery range and a gur near the gold here. So you can see he's gathering up everything he needs. And I think he's going to, draw my scout into his town center there. Very unfortunate. Looking back at my base, it looks like I'm going for a stables as my first military structure. I kind of like that. I saw his archery range, and so I'm just kind of going for this to make sure that I can charge down any archers he might send my way. He's coming forward with the scout and his Khan. I'm going to come forward with my scout. I don't want to get distracted by his scouting units. Oh, Mangadai, and look, a trader. After seeing that, I'm realizing, okay, first off, it's good I went with the stables because the horsemen are at least decent against Mangadai, although I really need regular archers against Mangadai. So I'm going to put down some archery ranges, good. And I saw a trader. That made me think, I bet that my opponent went for the silver tree instead of the deer stones. So I suspect there are traders moving back and forth between this neutral camp and his town center, or perhaps even a market way over here on the far side. Here come those Mangadai, ranged cavalry. They're like Rus horse archers, but better. because they can move and fire at the same time. I'm walling this off, but I should have realized that there was also a little gap here that needed to be walled off. Did a little harassment with my horseman back there, but didn't accomplish much. And now he's coming. Yep, I lose both of my villagers. We were putting up this wall, and I really needed to finish up the wall there. It's a shame I lost 2 villagers there, and I really need to get textiles. That'd be a really good upgrade for me. You can see my opponent is already nearing the castle age, and yeah, the moment my opponent gets the food, they're going castle age. Putting up an outpost, but again, there's a gap here, and I'm gonna suffer because of it. Here come his units. That's 3 villagers there. He should probably just run through this wood line. Not sure why he doesn't. And I need to get my units, up and guarding. I'm lucky that I only lost a little bit there. And to be honest, we're making really good gains down here. We found the silver tree and we're killing off traders. That felt really good. I don't think we can do anything about the actual silver tree. It's going to take a lot to burn it down. But we're at least going to snipe down these caravans as they move across the map. This camel archer is doing good work. It's reducing the damage of these Mangudai. Man, we really had the right unit composition to deal with the Mangudai there. But I should have got those units out across the map earlier. Oh man, I'm going to lose all these villagers over here. Oh, that's painful. Look how fast the Mangudai fire. Of course, the moment my archers get over, we can start to exchange fire pretty well. But, he is just running over my units. Well, the archers are actually holding okay, and these horsemen are particularly effective. Oh, they're all so low. I'm going to try and target some of the weak ones down here, but oof. Oh, if I had target fired a little better. Look at how injured many of these Mangudai are. Now that he's in the castle age, we can't do anything here. He's going to send just like a few man-at-arms this way, or some knights, probably knights, and just clean this up. It's great that I'm like taking care of the caravans that are being produced from it, but I don't know. These traders, he's got so many of them. And now that he's in the castle age, I have to focus on getting up to the castle age myself. Putting down 2 barracks, that's the smart move. We know he's going to send knights our way. And look at all the traders. Wow, there they all are. And it looks like they were moving beyond his base. I suspect he has a market all the way over here. In fact, I was kind of curious about that this game. I might reveal all in a moment here. And, whoa, look at that. For his age 3 landmark, rather than the steppe redoubt, he went with the Kurultai, which heals his cavalry as long as they are with the Khan and near the Kurultai. So as long as his Khan hangs out near the Kurultai, all of his units here are going to get patched up. And here come the Lancers. Yep. Getting good kills here. Looks like this horseman's fighting some villagers. So I like that. Yeah. Oh, there's the huge batch of traders. I want to see. Did he put a marketplace way up here? Yes, he did. How much are these caravans returning? Oh, almost got that villager there. How much are these villagers? Oh, the traders bring back 156 gold and a little bit of wood and food as well. Fascinating. So I've made it to the castle age, or at least I'm aging up right now, and I'm probably quickly going to get my spearman upgrades because I need to get those spearmen out and dealing with his knights. Let's check income. Pretty interesting. We're fairly even on food. I'm maybe a little ahead. Fairly even on wood. I'm maybe a little ahead. I am ahead in gold, but I suspect once he gets his villagers back on gold, and once those caravans, the traders, start dropping their food off, it's going to really tick up for him. Like, this isn't really reflective of the true income. As long as he keeps me in my base for a little bit longer, we're going to see the incomes totally flip. Because I remember he had a chunk of like 5 traders that he was sending over to the silver tree. Well, over to this neutral market, I should say. So we're going to see his income just explode in a little bit. Make it to the castle age. Great. Need to get that preservation of knowledge upgrade ASAP. And I need to protect my villagers here. Fortunately, we're running with some of them. I'm telling them to take shelter, but there's just not enough room. Now we're trying to put a stop to his knights, but this is really scary. Fortunately, we're pumping spearmen, but look at all these poor villagers. And yeah, they're able to kind of stay ahead of the lancers, but the Mangudai are doing great work picking off villagers. Oh, more villagers dying there. Very painful. Looks like he's trying to target fire a little bit. Oh, the crossbowmen here are really good. We're doing good damage to his lancers. He has to back them off. And this is what I mean. You have to mix in both archers and spearmen to deal with Mangudai, because he's targeting my spearmen with the Mangudai. Yep. And I'm trying to use my archers to target down his Mangudai. So I'm losing my spearmen to the Mangudai. I'm hoping he loses his Mangudai to my archers. Gosh, and these knights are so frustrating. I mean, yeah, the spearmen do great damage. And if they can get within range, they deal great damage to these Mangudai, but we really need horsemen, camel archers, regular archers, and just more spearmen than you can imagine. See, my spearmen love just duking it out with these knights. It's such a cost-effective trade. And you'll notice he's brought the Kurultai to the front of my base. The idea there being, if his units are injured, he can just retreat here with his Khan. They all get healed up, and then they go back in. And now he's got the veteran Mangudai. It's unfortunate because I can't really get my units across the map, and I've lost a lot of my villagers. Look at the economic advantage that I used to have. My food is decimated. Wood's doing great, but probably overcommitted to wood. And gold we're both pretty shaky on. But he's, again, buying himself time for his caravans to get back to work. And I'm just trying to buy time to make my base secure. I'm putting up lots of outposts and trying to give them spring-ald emplacements. I would have preferred to have these outposts built ages ago. It's kind of wild that I have over 1,000 wood right now, and yet I'm struggling to build these outposts. When I saw him reach the castle age, I should have said, I don't even need my wood for anything except barracks, farms, and outposts, and then I can take some villagers off of wood. Here's the pretty late food transition. I think this was coming just a little too late. I like the walls. The walls have definitely kept me in this game. And this stone one in the front is extremely helpful. But here he comes again with his units. They've all been patched up, or are still being patched up thanks to the Khan. And now he can pretty much go wherever he wants in my base. I'm going to try and move my small forces left and right, trying to see if there's anything that we can do to deal with this huge army. But I'm worried for all these villagers. And my units are so slow, I need to either split them up or just get more. So he's backing off. Maybe he saw... I liked that the outposts are getting these spring-ald emplacements. They definitely discourage him. But I mean, I need them all over my base. Anywhere I'm gathering resources. Even this thin little wood line would be helpful to have some outposts. And could probably put more people on stone, because we need that stone to make these spring-ald emplacements. And I feel like this is all just to keep me afloat. You can see he's actually got a siege workshop up front. This is not where I want to be. I'm definitely not in a winning position here. And you can see he's really racking up the gold now. His caravans are just going wild. And I have no gold income. Just got these villagers over. We need that gold to produce some tankier units like knights. And we also need that gold so that we can make crossbowmen. As you can see, the transition to farms is just a little too late. Like, we're really starting to get our farm economy going here, but we just could not produce enough units, it seemed. We have good military production. I will give myself that. And it probably would have been nice to get camel riders, although they don't come with much armor, so I'm worried they would probably die to these Mangudai pretty quickly. It's getting trebuchets out, and I'm deciding... Well, I'm just going to lose the game if I'm holed up in my base this whole time. So I've built a palisade gate here, and I'm going to send a small force of units out and around. Maybe we can disrupt his trading economy. Looking at income again, Food fairly even. Wood, opponent is ahead. Gold, opponent's definitely ahead. And at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent got up to another town center, with me just kind of being trapped here. Interestingly, I'm still... Oh, and there goes the relic. He is playing the religious game. I haven't even considered it. It looks like I don't... Oh, no, I do have a mosque down. Looks like I'm just now considering it. It's some free gold income, so we might as well go for it. It looks like I'm sending this villager the long way down to the river. We're going to try and get up a fishing operation when we can. Because we just lost our berries. We only have a few more food resources left. In fact, within our walled section, we don't have any except farms. Looks like this small force of units is still heading out. Looks like I'm sending out even more, just because my opponent doesn't seem to be doing much other than just kind of using the trebuchets. Here come his units. I could probably stonewall this, stonewall this. We have the resources for it. And I should really be putting those spring-ald emplacements down. Whenever we get enough wood and some stone, we should do it. My units find some of his villagers, and we're just going to start stabbing. So that was a good find there. If I had known that the marketplace was in the upper right, I would have sent them there as well. Looks like I'm just going to abandon these spearmen because they're just dying to this outpost, and I'll send my archers out. Oh, there's the caravans. We really need to do something about these traders. If I just parked my units here, they could probably get a lot of kills. We're trying to discourage him from coming forward with his forces. Same time, we're just kind of making some minor harassment over here. Looks like we're also doing the same thing over here, finding villagers. Pretty good. Glad to see us finding his villagers here. They have a lot of health, but looks like, yeah, we're getting some kills. Now he's having to back them off. Good to get a little bit of disruptions. Anything, any kind of wins on the map, we appreciate. And he sent a lot of his forces back. It was the perfect time for me to snipe his siege units. They don't have much health. We might as well grab them. They're expensive too. If we can burn them and then retreat back to our base, that'll be really promising. Nice, one more volley and we're probably good, but here come his forces, so we probably have to back off. Oh, he's using a speed arrow to make all his units quicker. Oh, look at the Mangudai just sniped down all of my forces there. And I'm sending, more units. We're disrupting his economy, but look at his forces that are in my base. There's just no stopping these units. They're pretty well upgraded. Looks like he got all of the ranged upgrades. Oof. How are we doing on upgrades? Looks like we've only gotten the level 1 armor upgrades and we're trying to get the faster unit production. And look at the Lancers. There's just so many of them and my units aren't rallying properly. I go for a conversion here, but the Mangudai, they fire so quickly. And now, the moment he recognizes I've got all of these villagers in the fields, look at this run by. This is what you want to do with Mangudai. If there's any Mongol players out there, this is the dream right here. Just look at all the free villager kills. And your units are moving the whole time. You can just move with the villagers and just kill every single one of them. Just look at that. At this point, I knew it was GG, so I call it pretty much right here. I'm still struggling against Mongol opponents. I think things would have gone better for me if I had completed the wall off. That would have been helpful. I think it was a good idea of me to just kind of condense myself in my base like this. And my small harassing forces were a good idea, but look at the gold income from my opponent. These traders just cannot be allowed out on the map. If my opponent goes for the trade route as the Mongols, I need to say to myself, let's not get the second town center. Let's go for aggression. Get towers down near the neutral market. Secure the corners. Make life difficult for anyone to trade. In this game, I feel like all I did was I identified that he had a town center near his stone, and so I decided to play a macro game, but that's not what I should have been doing, because trading is just way too effective as the Mongols. Anyway, hope you liked the game, and I'll catch you for the next one.